Hi folks, in today's episode I'm going to be looking at my Auriculas and giving them a little bit of a refresh for the start of the season. Hi folks, G3 here. So today I'm going to be looking at the Auriculas that I've had potted up for a couple of seasons now. They are looking a little bit tired, especially seeing as we didn't do anything with them last year because of the house move. They've just been put here and they're just sitting here a bit unloved. So I'm now going to be looking at giving them a bit of a refresh of the compost, seeing which ones are nice to put into the lovely terracotta pots that we've got, sort of change them around. So that's what I'm going to be looking at. One thing to say, as I always do with these, is that we live on an active building site. There's work going on around, so you might hear some noise going on from the construction that is a few buildings away, so apologies for that. And also Mrs. G3 is doing some pottering around in the garden as well, potting up some sweet peas and repotting some other bits and pieces, so you might hear her as well. What I'm going to be using, I've got some nice compost here which is from the Edible Culture shop, which is over at Faversham in Kent, and it's the Silver Grow compost that they sell. So I'm going to be using some of that mixed in with the existing stuff because it's got some nice grit in there, so it'll be good for drainage. I just might need to get a little bit more to put on top from a decorative point of view, but I'll be mixing that in to make sure that it's got good drainage, so I'll be going through that now. Just putting some of the compost in here for ease. It is mixed in a bit with some of our old stuff as well, so it's a little bit of a mixture. I've got some fresh in there and some of this recycled bits, and I'm just sort of getting the best of it, but it's giving them a bit of a refresh. So have a look at some of the ones that see, I mean, they're quite dry because we haven't had rain for a couple of weeks, so they are looking a little bit sad, so they'll appreciate a bit of TLC, a bit of a water. See, some of them are starting to try and flower, so I want to try and make the most of it, select the ones which are certainly good to keep and look at. There's one here that's most definitely dead. So that one is one that I can't keep, but it's a nice terracotta pot, so I'll be able to transfer that over. I'll use this bag here for some of the old stuff that I'm taking out, and I'll be able to put that in our garden bin, and then mix this in here. Now this one's got quite matted roots, so I don't think there's going to be a lot I'm going to save from this. There's just a bit of grit I can mix in. That'll do. So what might be nice, seeing as this one is flowering already and it's in a bit of a sad pot, I'm going to transfer this one over to that terracotta pot. Change that over, so I'll give it a bit of support. A little bit of squidge on the plastic pot to help ease it out. There we go. And so this one's really quite dry, but it's got some roots that are desperate to get into the soil, so I think it's really ideal timing to try and give this a bit of a lease of life. Mix that around, nice deep hole for this to go into. Squidge that in, and I'm going to give that a bit of a water in a moment, and that'll hopefully give it a bit of a lease of life. You can see it's a little bit curvy at the moment, the leaves, but it's suffering a little bit, but we'll give that a water in a moment. I'm separating these out into two piles to work on. I've got the ones that seem to be in better condition and are worth repotting, and some that depends on what pots we got left as to what I do with those. There was a bit of shame last year that we were moving house in March, so around the time when the Auriculas would sort of need a bit of attention was when we were busy doing other stuff, so it's just such a shame that they've had a season of neglect, but hopefully they'll be okay with a little bit of TLC. And we're starting to get a few birds coming into the garden. We get goldfinches, wagtails, starlings, magpies and seagulls and pigeons, but we also get robins. Yeah, we get some robins as well. We also get some skylarks. You might hear those in the background. I can't hear any at the moment, but over in the distance you get skylarks, and they tend to sort of be making quite a bit of singing when they're right up in the sky. They'll sort of be singing away when they're up there, and then they'll sort of drop right down, and they'll stop singing when they do that. So sometimes you sort of really hard to see because they're up so high, but you can hear the noise coming. It's really pretty. The only trouble is that obviously because of all the building work that's going on, eventually they might not be around here because it won't be a suitable area for them, unfortunately. But at the moment they are still on the open fields over there, so it's nice to hear them. Right, this one's got a good root network, so this should be okay to repot. Just going to take a little bit of that off the bottom, which should encourage a little bit of growth of it as well. It's got some really big roots there. Don't know what bird that is making that noise. It's a finch, was it? Is it a goldfinch? Oh, okay. Nice, so there we go, one potted up. I'll put them on here so I can then give them a bit of a wash. Yeah, this one definitely in a state of sadness. The terracotta pots are a really lovely way of displaying them. You get a little bit of sort of nature on them as well. Got a little bit of moss around the top of here. They just, I just like that rustic look of them. It's beautiful. Perfect. There we go. I've got a lot to get through, so I'll get through that and I'll come back to you and show you what it looks like when I'm done. These are all repotted now in the terracotta pots, so some were in the same pots, others I've transferred over the better quality ones from the plastic pots, and these are the best of the bunch. I've got, I think, 9 others in different pots that I'll be able to transfer in if they're flowering better, and yeah, see how it goes with those. So I'm just going to give them a nice soak of water, and hopefully these ones that are rather limp because of the recent dryness will pick up. I'm confident that they will. So cross your fingers for them, and we'll see how they do. I'll make sure that they remain well watered over the coming days and weeks so that they stand the best chance of surviving and hopefully thriving, and even if they don't pick up for this season, hopefully there'll be enough signs of life with them that I'll then be able to nurture them through the year, and they'll be in tip-top form for next flowering season. That's a good drench for now. I'll top them up tomorrow, give them another water then. Pleased with that, that's good. Well, there you go folks, hope you found that useful. If you did, then please click the like button down below and leave your comments. Let me know whether you've got an Auricula Theatre and what you're doing to get them in tip-top condition for the start of the season. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Up next I've got this video, which I think you might find useful. And if you haven't done so already, then why not subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you get notified when I load up a new video. Well, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye!